This video is sponsored by the coldest water. So approximately 2 weeks ago, I broke up with my first and only girlfriend that I've ever had in my 21 years of life. Now, about a few days after that, I had a discussion with one of my friends about the beauty and the value of being single. And it really opened my eyes to my own perspective because I didn't realize how much I actually enjoy being single until I got out of the relationship. Now, don't get me wrong, relationships can be beautiful. I don't regret any of the time that I spent with my ex-girlfriend. And we ended things on good terms, and I'm happy for her. She's doing a lot of great things in her life right now, and so am I. It's just we're doing them separately as opposed to together. And I've come to terms with that, and hopefully she has as well. But I've also come to terms with the idea that your relationship with yourself will always be the strongest connection that you can ever have. Always. Now, I've had a lot of people messaging me, emailing me, all of that, asking me if I'm okay, wondering how I'm doing, because I'm sure that you guys probably think that I'm going through a lot. And I am. I'm going through a lot of things right now, but it's not so much because of me ending that relationship or us ending that relationship, but it's more so me trying to rediscover and cultivate a stronger relationship with myself. That's where a lot of my inner turmoil has come from. And I've been dedicating a lot of time and energy to that. But the reason why I'm in this place right now is because I used not only my relationship, but also YouTube as distractions, as ways to avoid doing the inner work that I'm doing right now, doing the shadow work, going into those dark corners of my soul that I do not want to confront. But that's the only way to develop a deeper relationship with yourself. And a deeper relationship with yourself comes at the expense of outer relationships a lot of the time because there's only so much time in a day. And that's something that maybe I didn't articulate that well enough in my "We Broke Up" video. But I feel like the best way to explain why I not only ended that relationship, but also took a break from YouTube is think about if you're in a room with two other people and somebody hands you a gun and says, either you shoot one of these people or all three of you are going to die. Now, when you're put in that predicament, what you'll quickly realize is that either one of you dies or all of you die. But either way, the person that you're going to kill is going to die anyways. So you might as well just go ahead and get it over with. And I don't just want to make it seem like the relationship didn't mean anything to me, but that's kind of the predicament that I was in. I realized that because I was dedicating so much of my time, effort, and energy to that relationship, and to YouTube especially, I was losing myself. I was losing my relationship with myself. I no longer had any quality time for myself. And I've been making up for lost time these past couple of weeks. That's been the essence of my time away from YouTube. Even though I'm obviously done with my break, just me lightening up my schedule and focusing more on myself. That's allowed me to produce content and really enjoy that process once again. But it came at the expense of that relationship. I had to put myself first, put my relationship with myself first, because if I didn't do that, what would end up happening, and it already started to happen, was my relationship with my ex was going to fall apart, which it already was, and I take full responsibility for that. That was entirely on me because I wasn't I wasn't managing that relationship with myself. And also, I started to lose that joy for YouTube. And that's a very, very unsettling place to be because for me to not enjoy those two foundational building blocks of my life at that point, that's very scary because those were two things that when I looked at them, I saw my future. And all of a sudden, I'm losing that vision. I'm losing that passion. And that takes away the joy from day-to-day life because now I don't know what I'm building for. I don't know why I'm putting in all of this work and stressing myself out to get something that really doesn't matter that much to me. And with that being said, I want to circle back to the beauty of being single. What I've realized through these past few months with my channel blowing up, with me being in a relationship for the majority of this year, I've realized that the most important thing in your life is peace of mind. Maintaining your peace of mind. Letting go of attachments. That doesn't mean that you can't be attached ever, but your strongest attachment should be to yourself. Your deepest relationship should be with yourself. Nobody, it doesn't matter how well you click with them. It doesn't matter how well you click with them, how many things you have in common, how strong that connection or chemistry is. None of that can transcend your relationship with yourself. And a lot of times I feel like people, myself included, can get lost in their relationship with other people. They focus more on their relationships with other people as opposed to their relationships with themselves. And that is a one-way ticket to mental instability and spiritual instability. Because when you lose yourself, you lose the essence of that relationship. A relationship is two people who love themselves and choose to share that love with each other. They're filling their own cups until their cups runneth over. And whatever runneth over is what goes into the other person's cup. And you just keep feeding that, but it starts with you. So if you're not feeding that inner sense of self and that inner relationship with yourself, your relationship with anybody else is going to fall apart. And that's why I always preach self-love. But as I've said in the past, I don't always practice what I preach. I give all of this advice, and a lot of times I don't even take it myself. But I know that it works. I know that it works because when I do apply it, I get peace of mind. I feel good. And the most important thing is having enough self-awareness to know when you need to make those sacrifices to enjoy or to develop that relationship with yourself so that you can enjoy your own company. I'm at a place right now where I genuinely enjoy being by myself. Now, I'm an introvert. I am a very big introvert, but there was definitely a good portion of my life that I felt like I was missing out by not being in a relationship. I felt like having a small friend group wasn't necessarily the best thing because when all of my friends are busy, now I'm alone. In the past, I thought of that as something to be sad about. But now, I'm cool either way. I genuinely enjoy my own company. A few days after I broke up with my ex, my dad came into my room and he asked me, would you be okay if you never dated anyone else for the rest of your life? And I sat there and I thought about it for a second. And I said, yeah, I'd be okay. I'd be straight because I really enjoy my own company. And it's kind of interesting because in the past, I feel like I was so enamored by the idea of being in a relationship. And I was trying to find that feeling when I was with a girl, but finding that feeling by myself. Now, it's the other way around. Now it's, I love being by myself so much that I try to find that feeling when I'm around other people. And you can't really find that feeling. They're two separate, unique feelings, and they're both enjoyable in their own way. But I feel like I'm at a point, and I'm not saying that I'm never going to date again. Believe me, once I get myself settled down, situated, then I'm going to put myself back out there. But I just feel like at this chapter in my life, dating doesn't really make sense to me, and it also doesn't feel right. Like I said, I don't regret anything that I've done. I don't regret any girl that I've ever been out on a date with, any girl that I've ever pursued. I don't regret my relationship that I was in, any of that. None of that, because I don't think that regret is a fulfilling state of mind. Because you can't change the past, you can only change your perception of the past and learn from it and grow from it. But I feel like with me being single, but being out of a relationship for the first time, it really gave me a whole new level of insight as to the beauty of just having freedom. The beauty to do things at your own pace on your own terms. something that me and my ex always talked about was the idea of building something together. We wanted to build together for the future. And at the time, I genuinely wanted that. That's what I thought I wanted. Until it was time to actually do it. And then I realized that I don't want to compromise on my vision. And see, that's what relationships are. Relationships are built on compromise. You have to take your two visions that you have and find a way to make them coexist, or better yet, integrate them into each other. That comes at the expense of the completion of your vision, because your vision is not going to be exactly how you saw it in your head, and that's not a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. I thought that I was willing to make that sacrifice, but now I'm not. And I learned that the hard way. And I'm not going to lie, that trait right there might keep me single for a very long time. I really don't know. I'm at a point right now where I'm just focused on myself first and foremost, my purpose after that, and then love. Whatever I have left over, that's what goes towards love. And to me, that's the best way for me personally to live. Some people may value relationships more than I do. Me personally, I value my freedom. I value my alone time. I value my personal growth and development. And I value sharing this journey with you guys, with everyone watching this, because that's fulfilling to me. Fulfillment comes from within, in my opinion. And you guys know this. You guys know that this is the way that I think. And it's amazing that I thought that I could find that in a relationship. It kind of goes against everything that I've ever told you guys, but like I said, I don't regret it. It's just, I'm learning a lot more about myself. I'm learning a lot about myself, and I think that that relationship, me getting into that relationship and me getting out of that relationship, were essential parts of my self-growth, self-development journey. Me becoming the best version of myself. And I think that me ending that relationship was one of the greatest acts of self-love that I've ever done, because it basically signified me placing my relationship with myself above my relationship with anyone else. And also, at the same time, me taking a break from YouTube. It signified me placing my relationship with myself and my well-being above my goals and above my purpose. Because at the end of the day, my purpose and my goals mean absolutely nothing if I'm not okay, if I can't perform to the best of my ability and pursue my purpose to my greatest capacity. And that comes from filling your own cup first and foremost. And for me, I just find that I need the freedom and the space to really do that in the way that works best for me. Because right now, I'm at a point where I don't want time constraints. I don't want to be bounded by anything outside of myself. And I'm slowly working on that. Right now, I'm working on my body so that I don't have to go to physical therapy anymore. That'll be one less obligation that I have. I want to be unbounded so that I can just move freely throughout my life and do my thing at my own pace. And maybe one day I'll either meet a girl that can match that pace and that has the same exact vision as me, or maybe one day I'll reach a point where I'm ready to compromise on my vision, because maybe I've gotten to a point where I can say that I'm truly satisfied. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for where I am, but I'm definitely not satisfied. I'm getting ready to move out into my first apartment. I'm getting ready to hit 100,000 subscribers. I'm getting ready to drop a couple of books, and I'm also working on a few other things as well. And that's great. I've made a lot of progress, and I'm proud of myself. I made a community post not too long ago saying that my younger self would be proud of me, because he would be. If you put 19-year-old Jordan in my shoes right now, he would literally, he would probably just cease to exist. He wouldn't know what to do. And that's honestly a very gratifying feeling. And I want more of that. I want more of that feeling right there. And I understand that through that process, I might find myself in relationships. I'm sitting here making this video. I could be in a relationship this time next year. Life comes at you fast. I might meet somebody. You never know what happens. But I just feel like right now, I'm just really, really happy being single. And I want to put this out there because I know that some people, they would see me when I was in a relationship and they would be jealous. And I don't mean jealous as in a negative way, but they would just look at me and think, man, must be nice. It must be nice to have somebody like that. And yes, it was. It was very nice. But at the same time, that can never, ever, ever, ever replace your relationship with yourself. And the same goes for YouTube success. I had to learn that the hard way too. I had to learn that no matter how many subscribers you have, you're still going to have those same insecurities. If anything, having more success makes those insecurities more pronounced. Because now you're wondering why these numbers and this money isn't filling that void. It's because you're the only one that can fill that void by filling your own cup with self-love, developing that relationship with yourself. But you have to be willing to take that initiative. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be in a relationship and do that at the same time, but you have to be honest with yourself. If you know deep down that you're at a point in your life where you cannot maintain those two relationships and also be on your purpose at your fullest capacity, which for a lot of people, that is true. It's very difficult to be in those building stages of your purpose while also building yourself up and maintaining a healthy relationship. Not just a relationship, but a relationship where both parties are receiving what they deserve. You see, I realized a while back that I was no longer giving my ex what she deserved. I was not reciprocating her energy in the way that she was reciprocating my energy. And that wasn't fair to her. And I feel like me ending things when I did was like my final act of love for her. I did that out of love, not out of spite, not out of hatred. I have no hate in my heart for that girl at all. I did that because I loved her and I wanted her to go and find a situation that would better suit her while I sort through my stuff. And I don't just want to make it seem like I'm morally righteous or anything like that, like I'm the best person ever for making that decision, but I sleep well at night knowing that I did what I did. I did the best thing for both of us. So for all the people who are wondering if I'm okay, yes, I am more than okay. I am feeling the best that I've felt in a very long time. But at the same time, I know that I still have a lot of work to do internally. And I'm just taking that day by day, step by step as I go, and sharing that journey with you guys as well.